Hello students, welcome back. Today in the video we are going to study about Newton's first law of motion. Before that, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and do mention your name class section in the comment section. So let's start. Students, in the last video we studied that how Aristotle's fallacy was corrected by Galileo by his thought experiments. Newton further studied Galileo's idea on force and motion and presented three fundamental laws that govern the motion of an object. These three laws are known as Newton's laws of motion, and today we are going to study about Newton's first law of motion. Newton in his first law said that a body at rest will remain at rest and a body in motion will continue in motion in a straight line with a constant speed unless it is compelled by an external force to change its state of rest or of uniform motion. For example, a book is placed on the table, will not move by itself. It will remain at rest until someone will apply an external force to move it. Students, we all have traveled in a bus, and while traveling we have noticed that when the bus starts suddenly we tend to fall in the backward direction. Do you know why? It's because of Newton's first law of motion. Before the bus starts, the bus along with the passengers tend to remain at rest. But as the bus starts suddenly, the lower body of the passenger moves along with the bus and our upper body still tends to remain at rest. Therefore, when the bus starts, we tend to fall in the backward direction so that we can remain at the rest position. Similarly, when the bus stops, all of a sudden we tend to fall in the forward direction. It's again due to the Newton's first law of motion. When the bus is moving, the bus and the passenger are in motion state. When the bus stops, the lower body of the passenger along with the bus comes at rest, but the upper body is still in motion. So we tend to fall in the forward direction. And students, similarly, while taking a turn, we feel that we are kind of pushed in the outward direction. It's because while moving on a straight line, our body tends to remain in a straight line. But as we take a sharp turn, our body still wants to remain in that direction. Therefore, we feel an outward push. Students, have you heard of a famous magic trick called coin drop-in? When you flick the cardboard moves away but the coin drops in the glass tumbler. Do you know why? It's because of Newton's first law of motion. When you flick the cardboard comes in the motion but the coin is still at rest. Therefore, it prefers to remain in the state of rest. But because of gravity, it falls downward in the glass tumbler. So students, by all these examples, we can summarize the first law of motion as the object at rest will remain at rest and the object in motion will keep on moving with a uniform velocity unless an external force is acting on it. Students, do you know that Newton's first law of motion is also known as law of inertia? Now, what is this inertia? Let's study. While riding a bicycle, it does not stop even after you stop paddling it. You know this happens due to the inertia of the bicycle. Here, the bicycle will only stop when you will apply an external force such as friction or by applying brakes. Even for starting a bicycle too, you have to apply some external force in the form of paddling. Then only your bicycle will start, otherwise it will not. It is just because of inertia of the bicycle. Similarly, while taking a turn, the same thing happens. Because of inertia, we do not change our direction and therefore we are pushed in the outward direction. So what is this inertia? Inertia is the natural state of an object in which a body at rest wants to be in a state of rest and body in motion wants to be in the state of uniform motion unless and until an external force is required to change its state of rest or motion. Students, based on our three examples which I have explained, we can say that inertia is of three types. Inertia of rest, in which an object wants to be in the state of rest. Inertia of motion, in which an object wants to remain in the state of uniform motion. And the third one is the inertia of direction, in which a body wants to move in the straight direction unless and until an external force is applied on it to change its state of rest, motion or direction. Students, you know that how do we measure the inertia of an object? Inertia of an object totally depends on the mass of the body. It means that an object with greater mass will have greater inertia, and an object with less mass will have less inertia. Students, we already know that mass is the measure of the amount of matter present in an object, and it is measured in kgs. Here I am having two examples. I am having a big train and a little baby carriage. So which one of these two will have more mass? Yes, you are right. The train will have greater mass and the small baby carriage will have less mass. So obviously, who will have more inertia? Yes, the inertia of the train will be more as compared to the inertia of the baby carriage. Therefore, we can say that the small baby carriage, which is a lighter body, will have less inertia, and therefore it can be moved or stopped easily. Whereas the heavier body like the train, which is having greater inertia, for me it will be difficult to move or stop it easily. So here in this picture I am having a boy and an elephant. So which one will have more inertia? Yes, the elephant will have more inertia than the boy, as it is heavier than the boy. Therefore we can say that it will be easy for me to move the boy from its rest position, whereas on the other hand it will be harder for me to change the position of the elephant. So now I have a question for you. The question says that which would require more force to move or slow down, and why? Here I am having a bowling ball and a normal cricket ball. So students, tell me for which one I'll require more force? Yes, right. The ball, which is bigger, having greater mass, will have greater inertia. Therefore, it will require more force to stop or slow down. Whereas the smaller ball, which is having smaller mass and therefore less inertia, it will be easy for me to stop it or move it. So students, this was all for today. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Till then students, take care and bye bye.